Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome back live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Here again with Lady Raider Volleyball coming your way here again from Columbus East High School in Columbus, Indiana, as we have the third game of the day here for your Wapahani Lady Raiders as they take on the Plainfield Lady Quakers. So, folks, we'll get right into things here with our Raiders Live pregame presented by Jones Auto Body. Not been a good day so far here for Wapahani, unfortunately, 0-2. But, you know, you still have, like I said, a great opportunity to come out here and win you a ball game. That's a big game for us right here. We got to rebound and get back to our winning ways. Had a good opportunity to do that there in the last game. But unfortunately, just some little mistakes that continue to be problems for us, and some, for whatever reason, just not working out for us right now. So just got to correct what we have to correct. But no matter what, you still got to have the right mind frame, even though it's hard to do so because of how the day has went so far for us. But you want to at least come out here, salvage a couple of games. You can win this game. Then there will be a fourth game that we'll play today that will determine what place we end up getting overall. And so you can still salvage the day with an even 500 record, which is better than not winning anything at all or only winning one game. So you got to look at, you have to look at different things to make it a good day, regardless of the way things have been here so far. So Wapahani's got to come out here, again, with a positive outlook on things and understand the task at hand, and that's to come out here, play as effective as possible, and to have as much success as much as possible, and hopefully come out on top. We need a victory. There's no question about that. And so hopefully we have, again, a new outlook on things and a renewed vigor, if you will, to get the W. Now, you look at this Plainfield team, pretty impressive group of ladies here coming into the day. They were 23-4 on the season. A pretty nice group led by, let's see here, Olivia Utterbeck. Utterback, I should say. Leading the team in overall kills, 333 coming into the day. Following her is Gracie Brackney. She has 152 kills on the season. Also, we have Jaden Ross with 178. So those three, as a trio, have got it done from the hitting standpoint of things. As the season has went along here, also you have to deal with Verningo, has a team-high 705 assists, also a team-high 55 serving aces, is Isabel Vernigo. So, just some players you really want to take watch of as this match goes along. Those four ladies in specific can be extremely important to the success of this Plainfield Quaker volleyball team. So Wapahani has got to do their part, making sure that they don't dictate the outcome of the ball game, steer them away from success and hopefully get us going back on the right track here. So, folks, we have roughly about a minute or so before the beginning of today's game. Again, we'll go over rosters and all that stuff coming out of the break. But again, we appreciate you all for joining us here today on a Sunday or Saturday afternoon of Lady Raider Volleyball. It's been a long day, folks. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Again for the third game of the day here for Wapahani. As we take a look here at both teams first for, again, your Raiders. Obviously, the old usual, Olivia Smith, Reese Baker, Emily Stewart, Gracie Stanley, Emma Schuck, number 6, Ashton Zitgraff. Number 7, Chloe Cook. Number 8, Allison Stewart. Number 9, Mallory Summers. Number 10, Briley Felton. Number 11, Macy Bowd. Number 12, Cameron Wise. Number 16, Cadence Brewer. Again, head coach there for the Raiders, Katie Weir, assisted by Paige Williamson, Lindy Davis, and Madison Mangus. Now for Plainfield. Take a look here. Number 1, Jordan Pax. Number 2, Piper Hessen. Number 3, Olivia Utterback. Number 4, Eden Amos. Number 5, Grace McNamara. Number 6, Emily Lynch. Number 7, Isabel Vernengo. Number 8, Gracie Brackney. Number 9, Natalie Sheets. Number 10, Megan Fisher. Number 11, Jaden Ross. Number 12, Alyssa Hall. Number 13, Darian Azell. And number 14, Ella Scott. Again, Plainfield is coached by Alexis Paget. Again, coming into the day, Plainfield was 23-4. I believe right now they are 24-5. I think they are 1-1 on the day so far. So, depending upon how this game goes, Wapahani, if the Raiders win, then they will play in the let's see, that'd be what, the 5th and 6th place game. To dictate who finishes 5th and 6th. Again, that will be, well, Lord knows when that might be. We're a little bit behind schedule, to be quite honest with you folks. We were supposed to have more than likely played the, as far as like the overall seeding games, as far as who will finish in what place. We were supposed to have already played that starting about right now. Instead, we're still in our 3rd pool game of the day. And we'll start off here with Cook hitting it out of bounds in a quick 1-0 lead here for Plainfield. So number 7, Isabel Renengo, is back to serve. And right into the net we go there. Ironic enough there, she has the most aces on the team, serves that one into the net, so the Raiders will take it. There's Baker now back to serve, tied here at 1. Handled there, and now a miscue on behalf of number 5, McNamara, and number 3, Utterback. So now a 2-1 Wapahani lead. Again, still a lot to play for here. If nothing else, you're playing for your own pride. Nobody wants to lose a ball game. It's not been, quite the day you expected, but there's still a lot to play for. Dug out there by Pax, set up this time. Utterback on the attack, bringing it right there. Again, leading the team in kills, as I mentioned there in the pregame. Well, the Raiders live pregame, 333 kills coming into the day. A couple substitutions now. Number 2, Piper Hessen, and number 8, Gracie Brackney, into the ball game now for the Quakers. Can hope I pronunciated those names correctly, as that one shanked out of bounds. That is one thing that has been the Achilles heel, so to speak, here for Wapahani. We have seen a good majority of that, not to pick on one certain girl. It's just been the whole team in general, just not been a good day from a lot of different aspects. But again, that's in the past. So you got to look at it right now with a 4-3 Raider lead. You have Olivia Smith back to serve. Cameron Wise just returned to action for the Raiders. Set up this time on to number 8, Brackney. Kept alive. Nice job there by Allison Stewart as Wise will get it over. Utterback back at it. Nice dig there from Emily Stewart, but 2-hit violation called on the Raiders. And Plainfield back on the board. So Jordan Pax back to serve. Stewart digs it. Stewart then sets it up there to Wise. There's Pax with a setup to Utterback, dug out by Smith. Stewart now to Summers. Kept alive by Brackney. Now on the attack right there was Hessam. Back to her one more time. Right there was Brackney. Summers back on the attack there, and in there for the kill is Mallory Summers. The Raiders back on the board here with Emma Schuck returning to the Raider lineup and Allison Stewart back to serve. Kept alive, and another miscommunication there by Plainfield will cost them another point. Great thing there for Wapahani, just kind of keep it rolling here, up 6-4. Not sure what the delay is in the game. Looked like everybody just kind of looked at one another, so I'm not quite sure what that was all about, but nonetheless, back to volleyball here. Nice job there from Allison Stewart, just sticking the hands up in the air and getting a piece of it. Set up to Summers. Pax with a dig. Back to Brackney. Smith digs in. Stewart sets it back up this time for Schuck. And that's going to be shanked backwards and out of bounds. Kill there for Schuck, and the Raiders now up 7-4. So some good action here by Wapahani. And served out of bounds. The line judge called it a couple different things there. Said originally it was a touch, then not a touch, and I don't believe that she touched it, so they got the call correct, looks like. So 7-5 now your score. And we'll have number 3, Olivia Utterback, back to serve for the Quakers. And that's going to be an ace. Baker not able to get anything underneath the ball right there to set it up for an opportunity here for the Raiders. And into the net we go there for Utterback. Another serving error for them. I think that's now the third one so far here in the first set. As we'll see Briley Felton now in the ball game. We'll see Mallory Summers now back to serve. Briley getting her first action of the day. Brackney on it there, dug out by Smith. Felton on the attack. Utterback digs it out, set up, and nice job there by Summers. And the Raiders are going to get a point out of it. A little trickery there by the Quakers, as the Raiders thought, had other plans for that one. And was able to come away with a point. And that's going to be 4 hits now on Plainfield. Another point here for the Raiders, and they've got it going. We've been waiting to see this all day. Now, slowly but surely, again, they're starting to get it together here. Don't want to jinx them, but just got to keep playing the game the right way. Wise on the attack there. Pax will get to it. Nice hustle there. Blocked by Wise. And another point for the Raiders. Now 11-6 after the block from Cameron Wise. And again, Summers back to serve. Pax set on to Brackney there, and Smith will take the reins here as that's set on to Schuck, and in for the kill will be Emma Schuck. Timeout taken here by Plainfield, and this is so far the best start of the day here for the Raiders, really getting things going now. 12-6. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back right after this break. All righty, folks, welcome back out of the timeout. Again, the Raiders, again, off to their best start of the day, or for that matter, even playing so far the best that they have all day, with a 12-6 lead. But yet again, you just want to keep things going in the right direction here. Smith with the setup to Summers. Mishandled there, and another kill for Mallory Summers. Now we'll have a substitution here for the Quakers. Number 11, Jaden Ross, now in the ball game. And that will be served out of bounds. The point there going back to Plainfield as number 5, Grace McNamara, back there to serve. She just came in the game. Dug by Summers. Stewart sets it to Wise. That's going to be blocked out of bounds. So a point there for Wapahani. We'll see Gracie Stanley now in here for the first time today. Also Chloe Cook back in for the Raiders. Tipped over the net, and we're going to have a net violation called on Wapahani. That'll cost the Raiders a point. There's number 10, Megan Fisher, will now come in for the first time of the afternoon. At least in this game, rather. Smith, Stewart, Cook, bringing it right there. Goodness gracious. I know that, and I don't want to say too much here, but my goodness, this is really refreshing to see again. Playing the way that we've been capable of playing all along. Nice serve there from Stewart, set on here to number 11, Ross, and that will be in there. So number 7, Isabel Verningo. Felton to Stewart, back to Cook, mistimed. And that's something, really probably in this part of the season, you guys more than likely have worked together enough. You should be able to get that down pat now. Granted, Cook playing it a little bit out of position, usually more of an outside hitter, playing middle hitter with the injury to Cadence Brewer. But still, you gotta knock down the timing right there. That is so crucial. There's Summers. Stewart back to Summers. Pax will dig things out. Set now up to Ross, and off the outstretched hands of Olivia Smith and out of bounds. Now 16-11 affair with number 2, Piper Hessen, and number 8, Gracie Brackney back in for the Lady Quakers. There's Stewart to Cook. Now on to Brackney and off of Baker and out of bounds. Hessen again back to serve. Handled there by Summers, set on the Cook. Dug out there now, number 7, Vernengo with the setup, dug by Smith. Back to Cook one more time around, and then it was blocked. Mishandled by the Raiders. And now a timeout will be taken here by Wapahani. So he was doing so good, and now having a little bit of a letdown again. So with a timeout taken here, we'll stick right here with you. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors again here today. Greatly appreciate each and every single one of them there. Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC dealership owned by Randy Stoops, located 4055 West Clara Lane in Muncie, Indiana. Stoops has a wide variety of brand new and pre-owned vehicles with quality brand names. So if you have an interest in a vehicle, would like to know more information about one, you can contact Stoops at 765-288-1903 and also visit their online website at stoopsauto.com. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They're also open Saturday from 8 to 4. So again, a special thanks there to Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC dealership. Stoops is driven to be the best. All right, so again, following the timeout, Piper Hessen back there to serve. Receive there from Baker and dug out there. Brackney will now get it back crossed and head out of bounds. Nice job there by Reese Baker. Court recognition always key. Realizing exactly where she was on the floor, and watch that one sail on out of bounds. So Wise back in. Smith was back to serve just a moment ago. Brackney on the attack there, dug out, but passed over the net, and now a miscue by the Quakers will give the Raiders another point there to now make it a 18-13 ball game. And now it's an ace for Olivia Smith. Vernengo with a setup to Utterback. And that was signed, sealed, and delivered right there. So Utterback continues to have a nice game here for herself. A 19-14 lead, though, here for Wapahani. Stewart tips it back across. Real nice play right there. Set up this time to Wise. There's Pax. Set back to Utterback again, and Smith will not get there. And they're saying that it was deflected out of bounds. So the line judge said that it was out of bounds. The referee said it was deflected out of bounds off of the Wapahani blocker. I'm assuming it was a blocker because Smith didn't even touch the ball. So very unfortunate there for Wapahani. But now after the miss hit by the Raiders, it's now a 19-16 ball game. Again with Jordan Pax there back to serve Baker. Stewart, Wise, and out of bounds again. Stewart, nicely done right there. Yet again, possibly could have set that up. Who knows? Also, it's always nice to create a little deception, change things up a little bit as well. Emma Shuck back in here for Wapahani. And Brackney will hit that one into the net now as the Raiders extend that lead once again back to 4. And served out of bounds there by Allison. Makes it 21-18 now as number 3, Olivia Utterback, back to serve here for the Quakers. Again, as we near the magic number of 25, as no one else got after the ball right there other than Jordan Pax. Everyone else just kind of looked at things. So the Raiders will take that one there now, 22-18. Summers back to serve. Brackney on the attack. Summers with a dig. Stewart with a setup to Felton. Soft touch over the net. Lands in there. So a kill there for Briley Felton. And an ace from Mallory Summers. And now set point here for Wapahani. Bernengo sets it to Brackney. There's Smith digs it. Stewart on the shock. Back to Brackney one more time, and Stewart attempted to get there, but off the fingertips and nothing to show for her. As number 11, Jaden Ross, and number 5, Grace McNamara return to action for Plainfield. And served out of bounds, and the Raiders will take it. So, only their second set win of the day. The Raiders, big-time victory there with claiming that first set here in this one against Plainfield. A big morale booster, I think, for these ladies, and hopefully we use this to our advantage. So a 1-set-to-none lead here for Wapahani after one. We'll step aside for a break, and we'll be back with your second set of action live on the WHS Network.
Need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
Alrighty, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, live here on the WHS Network as we get geared up for set number 2 here of the afternoon. Again, Wapahani took the first set 25-19, so definitely a great step forward here so far against Plainfield. Hopefully we can continue the momentum that we're on. Set to Cook, and Pax will get it over. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Unfortunate there, so 2 hits on Wapahani. Looked so promising in that first point. But nevertheless, Plainfield will take the first one here in set number 2. Again, this game right here determining who will get third place in this specific pool. Yeah, Pool A and Pool B. And then the winner of this game will play for 5th and 6th place overall out of the 8 teams that are in this tournament. So we have Olivia Smith back to serve here for Wapahani. Also Cameron Wise just came in a moment ago. On the attack there's Utter back. A 2-1 lead here for Plainfield as number 6, Emily Lynch, now in the ball game. Stewart sets it to Wise, collecting that one. Nicely done, a very nice serve reception there by the Raiders, and a great setup by Stewart to Cameron Wise with a finish. Got Emma Shuck back in here for Wapahani. Vernengo sets it up. There's Smith, Stewart, Sommers with soft touch, and a net violation called on Plainfield. And hit over and well out of bounds by number 11, Jaden Ross. So 4-2 the score. Wapahani leads. Again here in set number 2. So now another brief pause in the action. Not exactly quite sure of the reasoning, but nevertheless, we're finally back to volleyball now. Again, unsure of why we had to take a pause, but nevertheless, the Raiders' couple bad passes there ended up as a kill for Plainfield, and now number 8, Gracie Brackney, will return to action for the Quakers. Number 7, Isabel Vernengo, back to serve. Baker handles, and yeah, she's had a really a tough go. Well, our passing in general has had a tough go of it here today, unfortunately, but Baker, just an unfortunate situation right there, unable to really do anything with it. Set up the Shock and straight into the net. There's Baker to Stewart on the Wise. Now Vernengo to Pax, setting up Utterback, and Stewart lays down for it, setting out a Wise, trying to find some open real estate there. Stewart again, set to Summers, bringing it, finding that line, and we're going to have a net violation called on Plainfield. So a point either way there for the Raiders. Worked out nicely there. We'll see Briley Felton back in for Baker. And that's going to be a lift called on Plainfield. Pax with a dig, set up there to Utterback. There's Summers to Stewart on to Felton. A soft touch over there. Vernengo gets there in time. Back to Utterback. Smith digs it. Stewart now to Shuck. And touched. That's a deflection out of bounds off of Plainfield. So great job there by Emma. Real nice setup from Allison Stewart. And another one hit out of bounds, this time by Gracie Brackney. So the Raiders now extend that lead to 3, 8-5. Nice serve from Summers, but just a hair out of bounds. Very close, but a good way to keep the pressure on Plainfield defensively there. Strong, hard serve there to the back. Smith digs it out there. Felton with a miss hit. So Utterback back to serve.
Eventually.
There's Summers. Stewart with a setup, this time to Wise. Dug by Vernengo. Now number 11, Ross on the attack. Now Felton back at it again. There's Pax. And off the hand of Allison Stewart and out of bounds. So that 3-point lead and now dwindled down to 0. Summers with the serve reception there, and Felton will collect the kill. I was wondering there if the ball had hit the antenna, but it was nowhere close to the antenna, so good kill there for Felton. And we'll see Gracie Stanley back in here for the Raiders back to serve. And on the attack there, handled by Stanley as Stewart then lays out for it following Stanley. And that's going to be hit out of bounds. And they're calling a tip, or a deflection, I should say, I guess, off of Wapahani and out of bounds. So number 10, Megan Fisher back in. And now serving for Plainfield. Summers to Stewart. Now on the Shuck. Little free ball action for the Quakers. Vernengo with a setup to Brackney. And we'll have I believe a net violation. And indeed it will be. So a net violation called on Plainfield. As Emily Stewart returns to action for Wapahani. She will be back to serve. And a 10-9 lead for the Raiders here in set number 2 again. Wapahani took the first set 25-19. There's Utterback. Vernengo set again to Runts. And not a bad idea there by Stewart, just unfortunately was not able to tip it over. Now we'll have number 5, Grace McNamara, back in for Plainfield and back there to serve. Stewart sets it on to Cook and finds that line on the left side. 11-10 now with Reese Baker back in here, now back to serve. Big time serve threat here for Wapahani. Baker getting after it again. And now a rotation violation called on Plainfield. And a net violation, no question about that. Vernengo went well under the net. So now a 13-10. The Raiders back here to a 3-point lead. And Plainfield now will take a timeout. And we will go ahead and stick right here with you during the timeout. Again, this will be our FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis game break. Again, with Wapahani on top here by 3 in set number 2. I'd like to thank more sponsors here today. I'd like to thank B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, located at 400 East Jackson Street in Muncie, Indiana. At the law offices of B. Joseph Davis, which is a highly recommended and respected professional corporation. They strive to aggressively represent all of their clients' interests in all phases of any legal matter. Their team has extensive experience in personal injury, criminal defense, which includes drunk driving, as well as criminal record, bankruptcy expungements, and hardship licenses. For more information, visit his website at www.bjosephdavis.com. So following the timeout again, Reese Baker back to serve here for the Raiders. A 3-point lead. Vernengo with a setup to Utter back there in the back row. Stewart on to Cook. Blocked, and Emily Stewart unable to get there. But again, you love the hustle. At least attempt to go after it. Even sometimes when might not seem like you're going to get to it, you never know. So Ross back there to serve. Stewart to Stewart on to Summers. And we're going to have a net violation called on Plainfield, and the head coach here for the Quakers not too happy about the call. Set up to Utterback again off of Smith. Baker lays out for you again. You love the hustle there from Reese Baker, but unfortunately unable to get there in time. See, those are the little intangibles, if you will, the little things that it's not going to come down in the stat book. We talk about that a lot with basketball too. The hustle that you show out there on the floor. That goes a long way. Even if you're unable to get the ball, at least give it your best shot. And when you see that from anybody on this team, at least you're giving it your best try. That's what you like to see, giving it your best. So we'll have Allison Stewart now back to serve. Also, Cameron Wise just came into the game just a moment ago. I think it was Cameron. Might have been Emma Shuck. Now I'm second guessing myself. Nevertheless, Summers on the attack and back at it again, and Summers will hit that one out of bounds. Now we'll make that a 15-13. So Vernengo back to serve. Down by 2 are the Quakers. There, Smith will dig it out, but a very low pass. And unfortunately for the Raiders, couldn't do anything with it following that. Baker to Stewart on the Shuck. And into the net. So now, again, what was a 3-point lead down to nothing again. As we'll have a timeout taken here by the Raiders. We'll go ahead and take a timeout right here with them, tied at 15. And set number 2, we'll step aside and we'll be back right after this break.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
All right, folks, again, out of the timeout here, tied at 15 here in set number 2. We have number 7, Isabel Vernengo, back there to serve. Baker shanks it off to the right side, and that's going to be an ace there for Vernengo. And another one off of Baker and out of bounds, another ace. And served well out of bounds there.
South Carolina 1.
So Summers now back to serve. The Raiders down by 1 point.
They must went for a touchdown.
Dug out by Ross, set up. And tell you what, quick ball right there. Nearly into the net, but a nice job there from Brackney to keep herself out of it, and the Raiders will get it back across. Nice job. Utter back on the attack and will collect the kill. Still some good action there by the Raiders just to even get that ball back over. So a 2-point lead here for Plainfield as we near the end of the second set here. Still got a few more to go, obviously, but nonetheless, you got to kick it into high gear now. Wise on the attack there. And great quick reaction there. I'm not sure if that was Shuck or Stewart that collected that. Happened so quickly there, but whoever it was, that was a job well done right there. Gets the Raiders back now within 1. Gracie Stanley now back to serve. That'll be dug out there by Ross, and a list of issues right there on that opportunity for Plainfield. Pass went nearly into the net. Vernengo really couldn't do a whole lot with it, which gives the Raiders good opportunity now to potentially take the lead. Ross tips it over and off the hand of Allison Stewart and out of bounds as the Lady Quakers will retake the lead. See number 10, Megan Fisher, back in there, and she'll be back to serve. Smith not going to get there, so an ace. Little things like that is what sometimes has the old head scratch in there. Got to make a heads-up play, and the Raiders, okay, they're going to call a lift now on Wapahani. That was an extremely late call. Goodness sakes. All right, so a timeout taken here by the Raiders. And again, we'll stick right here with you during the timeout. Some more sponsors we'd like to recognize again here today. Again, FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. Let Ted and Joanne be the key to all of your real estate needs. Buying, selling, or investment properties, we got the job done. So call Ted Cook at 765-744-8143 and Joanne Davis at 765-748-1316. Again, that's FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. Also, I'd like to thank Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Fannin, and they're located at 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops in which they've been servicing the community for over 30 years. If you have any questions or need them to take a look at your vehicle, contact them at 765-284-2593. Again, that's Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality. So a 21-18 lead here for Plainfield. So some very crucial points here. Make that 22-18. Stewart gets there in time. Felton will set it over the net. On to Ross. Tips it over. Felton digs it out. Set to Cook. And in there with a kill is Chloe Cook. Big point there for Wapahani. Still find themselves down by 3. Every point, especially right now, extremely crucial. So Emily Stewart returns here for Emma Shuck, and Stewart will be back to serve. Ross now on to Brackney, and I don't think a couple ladies knew exactly where that ball was at the moment until obviously the ball fell in. So we'll see number 5, Grace McNamara, back in, and she'll be back to serve. And Plainfield only 2 points away from taking this second set. Again, Wapahani took the opening set 25-19. Set up to Cook, and that's going to be deflected out of bounds off of Plainfield. So Cook records the kill. Reese Baker now back into the lineup and now back to serve. Dugout now. Ross gets it over. Smith digs it. Stewart on a Summers. Yes! So 23-21. Got to keep on rolling. You got the right girl serving right now. Pax will dig that one out. Now Utterback gets that one into the net. And now the lead has dwindled down to 1. Utterback now set on the Ross. Oh, just in front of Baker. So a big point there for the Quakers. Now a great opportunity here now. Set point for Plainfield. Number 11, Jaden Ross, back to serve. Stewart on to Stewart. Now to Summers. Off of Utterback and out of bounds, and the Raiders again back to a 1-point deficit right now. Cameron Wise back in, and now Olivia Smith back to serve. Set up to Utterback, and that's going to be hit out of bounds off of the Raiders. So Plainfield takes set number 2, 25-23. So folks, we'll step aside for a break. We got third set action coming up live here on the WHS Network. All right, welcome back here, folks. Again, Brandon Morvillius alongside here with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Again, as we are about to get set here for set number 3 of what is now our third game of the day. In our first game, we lost to Columbus East in 3 sets. Second game, we faced Silver Creek, lost that one in 2 sets, and then now we move on to Plainfield. Had a pretty good first set there. Second set really had a pretty decent lead there. Then things went south for us quickly. We was up 18-15. And, well, sometimes that's just how it goes. But I think we was up 18-15. Might have been thinking about another game now, to be honest with you. Some of these games is kind of intertwined with one another, to be quite frank with you. We've been going at this now for nearly 7 hours altogether. And so it's been a long day at the office, so to speak. But nevertheless, big third set here for Wapahani. Obviously, it's best 2 out of 3, so this third set will go to 15. I believe you have to win by 2, and got to come out here with a sense of urgency. You know, you want to leave. You want to leave this place and head back home, feeling at least pretty decent about the way you played today. And Ross will get it started here in the third set with a kill there now, 1-0 Plainfield. And Jaden Ross will be back to serve. Dug out there by Stewart. Set back to Summers and off the hand there of number 5, McNamara. So we're tied now at 1. We'll see Olivia Smith now back to serve. Fisher with a dig. Vernengo tried to set it over, but, Valerie Summers got the hands up there and was able to block it right back down where it came from. So job well done there by Mallory. Again, handled there by Fisher, set on the Utterback. Baker laying out for it there. Big dig there, set to Summers once more. Now Vernengo sets it back again there. I think that was to number 4, Amos, and indeed it was. Utterback again. Baker with another dig. Set to Summers one more time and gets it done. Finding that back corner. Great court vision there from Summers. And the Raiders now up 3-1. Shank backwards. That's going to be an ace for Smith. And right now the Raiders have got it going on. 4-1. And, well, that's the old broadcasting jinx for you. I should have never said anything. Served into the net there by Smith. And so now we'll have Jordan Pax of Plainfield back to serve. Smith digs it out there, set up to Wise. Vernengo back to Utterback. Smith another dig, that time now set to Summers. And a little miscommunication on behalf there of the Quakers will cost them a point there. Now Emma Shuck returns to action for Emily Stewart. And Allison Stewart now back to serve here with a Raider 3-point lead. Utterback gets it across. There's Smith to Stewart on to Summers. Trying to find that back corner again. Unable to right there. So the Raiders called with over the net violation. So Isabel Vernengo back to serve for the Quakers. They're down by 2 now, 5-3 score. And a point there is that deflected out of bounds off of Plainfield. We'll see Briley Felton back in. She'll be back to serve, or not back to serve, pardon me, Mallory Summers back to serve. I'll get it right. Utterback, Vernengo back now to number 6. Lynch was on the attack there. Felton now will not find the back line, just outside the mark. Overall, not bad placement there. He just like to have had that maybe about a couple inches in front of where the ball landed, and that would have been perfect. Set to Wise. There's Pax. Vernengo. On over to Brackney, a nice dig from Allison Stewart. This time set to Summers. A little soft touch over the net. Pax now back to Ross. There's Smith. Stewart to Felton. Dug by Utterback. Ross again will land that one out of bounds. Great court vision there from Olivia Smith. So we'll see Cook and Stanley back in, with Stanley back to serve. Utterback from the back row. Stanley digs it out. Stewart with a set up to Felton. And hits that on the left side of the antenna. If that was the case, that nearly took out the up referee. Nevertheless, here number 10, Megan Fisher back to serve. Stewart with a set up to Cook. Cooking them right along right there. Now 8-5 your lead for Wapahani. Emily Stewart now in. And number 6, Emily Lynch, will briefly come in, but we'll have the old switcheroo with Jordan Pax returning to the Quakers lineup. And Brackney sneaks in front of the outstretched hands there of Stewart. And another substitution now, number 5, Grace McNamara back in there and now serving. Set up there to Cook, and nice dig. Felton back on the attack, dug out, and now Summers will get it over. And in there, that will be McNamara, I believe, tipping that back across to make that an 8-7 ball game. Felton gets that back line this time. So big hit there from Briley, as we'll see Baker back in there for her. Raiders with a big point there to put themselves back up by 2. Nice serve there from Baker. Vernengo with a set to Ross. Tipped over the net there. Now back to Cook. Deflected out of bounds off the blocker of Plainfield. And the Raiders now with a 10-7 lead. Wouldn't be surprised here if the Raiders do put another one up on the board right here. You might see a Plainfield timeout. Hopefully that is the case. Ross getting it together and got the kill there to make it now a 2-point lead again here for Wapahani, with, again, number 11, Jaden Ross back to serve. into the net. Serving error there for Ross. Wise back in for Wapahani. And Olivia Smith serving. Bernengo finds Utterback, deflected off the blocker's hands. I think that might have been potentially off of Stewart. If not, then it was off of Wise or maybe both. You never know. So number 1, Jordan Pax back to serve. Again with Wapahani leading by 2. And hit into the net. So now we'll see a timeout taken by Wapahani. The Raiders lead it by 1 in the third set. We'll step aside and we'll be back with more right after this break. Alrighty, folks, welcome back. Again, coming out of the timeout here. Again, a 11-10 lead here for Wapahani. So I guess we're going to have a redo because the clock went off. I don't know how that changed anything. The ball was already heading into the net. And then they called redo. Nevertheless, here we go again, set on the Summers. And that's going to be deflected out of bounds off of Plainfield. So the kill there for Mallory Summers. And the Raiders now back up here by 2 with Emma Schock returning to the Raider lineup. You got Stewart back to serve. Handled there by McNamara. Utterback on the attack. Smith sends it to Summers. There's Pax. Renengo and blocked by Cameron Wise. And now a timeout taken here by Plainfield, and we'll just stick right here with you during the timeout. So the Raiders a 2 points away from taking this match right here and sending themselves into a showdown for 5th and 6th place overall. They would finish 3rd in pool play, but you still have to collect 2 more points. So this is not a game that's over with by any means. Of course, if we were to win this game, then at least to my knowledge, we will play next right here on the same court that we've been at all day. McNamara, Bernengo now to Utterback and off of Smith and out of bounds. So we got a nail biter. Go figure. We got number 8. Gracie Brackney now in here and now back to serve will be Isabel Bernengo. Smith to Stewart on the Summers. And that's deflected and heading well out of bounds off the Quakers. And so here we are at match point here for Wapahani. Briley Felton returning to the Raider lineup. Mallory Summers back to serve. And it's time to get it done. Nice serve there. Set on to Utterback. Summers lays out for it, and that's going to sail out of bounds. So still match point. You got number 3, Olivia Utterback, back to serve. and served into a net. So an unfortunate way to end it there if you're Plainfield, but a great way to end it here if you're Wapahani. So the Raiders will salvage one win here in pool play, which is big time. They're great to bounce back from a couple of losses. Very unfortunate day overall, but you're able to get the win here, boost your confidence again, and get back to your winning ways. And this is a big win here for the Raiders. So now, you look at that win right there. That's a pretty darn good Plainfield team. They came into the day 23-4. So they're not, some little, measly team that ain't worth much of anything. That is a good, solid team right there. So that's a big win for the Raiders. Very, very big win right there. So now we will play, I'm assuming, in the game for 5th and 6th place. Not sure quite yet. Well, I was assuming that we would be playing that game next. But to be quite frank with you, I'm not sure what's going to be going on. So, when we find out, we'll try to let you all know as soon as we can on Twitter and on Facebook about what will be going on here next. So again, we appreciate you for joining us here today. We will have more than likely the next game coming up here momentarily on the WHS Network, so make sure to stay tuned in for that one live here on the WHS Network.